Okay, welcome back to another video for Map and Compass Skills, and this time we're going to take a look at estimating and measuring distance on a topo map. And one of the things that you will take into consideration is that when you use a compass that has a base plate, along the base plate there are always different gradients of measurement so that you can easily measure where you're supposed to be. Now, with a map like this that we printed off of the internet, because it happens to be an area that we're familiar with, we're going to look at the scale that's listed and printed down here on the map, and you'll see that this scale is broken down in increments of 500 feet or 200 meters. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and line up the zero edge here of this. Just looks like a simple ruler, and it's done, and it is a ruler. It's done in inches and it's done in centimeters. And the beautiful thing about having a see-through base plate is that you can be right on top of it and get it right. So we'll take a look and we'll say, how much is 200 meters? Well, it's about 4 1/4 centimeters. All right. So if we wanted to measure something, and let's just say, how far is it from this fishing pond to this man-made structure? All right. So if we had this scale, we would happen to know that from the center of that fish pond to the center of that man-made structure just so happens, well, I got lucky doing that. It just so happens that it's 4 1/4 centimeters, or as what we know from down here, that's exactly 200 meters. So if you were doing some hiking, for example, and you've paced off your distances, and for example, that 25 paces for you is 100 feet, you could start measuring your distance from site to site, and you'll know pretty much based on your pace count how far you've gone and how far you've yet to you still need to go. So that is the reason that we measure distances, to give us an idea as to how big this map really is and how much this scales. So 200 meters, we're talking approximately maybe about 525 feet. So we could measure that off, and remember, we are talking in a straight line. So when you travel on a trail and you're weaving from side to side and going up and down hills, that distance is going to fluctuate a bit depending on the terrain, and depending on if you're traversing a large distance, you may have to stop every now and then and take a new bearing and verify where you are and calculate how far you still need to go. But a short distance, like just a couple of football fields, you can figure that out and know from your pace count if you're getting to where you should be, and if you're starting to see the things that you should see. So we knew that if we were heading in this direction from the pond, you should start seeing the footbridge, for example. You should start seeing some trails throughout here. You should start seeing some buildings in the distance. Right? So there's always a scale to measure by, and you utilize your base plate, and you can figure it out from there. Right? So we'll try that example again, just to make it interesting. So 500 feet, let's measure and see what 500 feet is on our scale. 500 feet is approximately, approximately 3 centimeters. Alright, so if we wanted to go, for example, the length of this road from this intersection up through this road up to this structure, we can start counting off in 3 centimeter increments and say, okay, from here to the 3, that's 500 feet. We'll slide up again, going from 0 to the 3, that puts us at 1,000 feet, and then 0 to just shy of the 3 is the meter. So we're talking about 500 plus 500 is 1,000, plus maybe approximately another 250, 300 feet. So we're about 1,300 feet from end to end. That gives you a good idea of distance utilizing your base plate and utilizing the scale that's on the bottom of each map.